A AAA survey, nearly 42 million Americans will kick off summer with a Memorial Day getaway, and 36 million of those individuals will be opting for a good old-fashioned road trip.
Love it. And if your summer destinations include Arizona or New Mexico, our next guest found a few lesser-known spots all along one road, the Interstate Highway. His travels led to his book, which is called Road Trip America, Arizona, and New Mexico, 15 Scenic Side Trips. And here to share his favorite finds is the author, Rick Quinn. Now, Rick, you actually drove 11,000 miles through Arizona and New Mexico, shot more than 7,000 photos, all while writing this book. What advice would you give to first-time road trippers?
Make sure you get off the interstate highways. But this book is essentially alternatives to the interstate highways.
I'm like looking through this going, I want to take this trip.
Absolutely. You know, I had kind of the same thought myself, so I went out and did it.
And you took really nice pictures of everything. I've been showing my daughter some of the stuff, and she's like, oh, I want to go there. You're getting even the kiddos excited. She's here today. So how can a staycation, because a lot of people are like, really a staycation, but how can a staycation through the great outdoors that you've certainly featured here, how can that be your best trip ever?
Well, I'll tell you what, you can base yourself in any of several different cities and do day trips out of those cities that include a whole lot of really cool stuff. You know, Flagstaff, Arizona is one good example because it includes the Grand Canyon and the Navajo and Hopi reservations and a lot of really interesting geology. Not to mention history.
Yeah, and this looks like a great book. What are some of the top 5 lesser-known sites that are in Arizona and New Mexico, and why should people visit them this summer?
Well, they're a lot less crowded than the better-known sites. There are millions of visitors to the Grand Canyon every year, but there's a place not too far from there called Coal Mine Canyon that almost nobody has ever heard of. There's no development there, no facilities, and there's no sign. So I tell you which
So you tell us in this book how to get there?
I tell you how to find it. You look for the windmill. Right.
That's really great. So we're looking at some of your pictures right now. Why don't you tell us about some other, as we're looking at it, what are we looking at here?
That's Coal Mine Canyon.
Is it Coal Mine?
It looks a whole lot like Bryce.
Wow.
And it's unknown. You'd be probably standing there by yourself.
Are you serious?
Seriously.
I mean, that sounds amazing. I want to, you know, we fight so many crowds and everything. You're never anywhere by yourself.
Right.
That is so cool. Let's go to the next one. What's this one?
This one is Bupatki National Monument. This was built by people 900 years ago or thereabouts, ancestors of the Hopi. They call it the Tall House. It's built from the clay that's there in that area.
Would you also be there by yourself?
Not so much.
Not
that
so
one
much?
so much because it's very close to Flagstaff.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. The colors are gorgeous. What's this one?
This is the Rio Grande Gorge. It's a tectonic rift. The earth split asunder millions of years ago, and the Rio Grande runs through that rift. It's not a canyon carved by water.
Really?
Yeah. It's amazing. It's upwards of 800 feet deep. There's a bridge that crosses it. And
really?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
It's an amazing thing to see.
What are we seeing here?
This is the Devil's Highway. It used to be called U.S. Route 666.
I have heard of this one.
They had to change the route number to 191 because people kept stealing the road signs.
Are you serious? But what's so interesting about
451 switchbacks in 90 miles.
Wow.
It's one of the curviest and least traveled roads in the U.S. highway system.
That's why it's the Devil's Road, right?
Yeah, well, that's one of the reasons, sure. This is the Gila Cliff Dwellings National Monument. This is one of the more obscure national monuments. It's not all that heavily visited because it's hard to get to. You got to drive a significant distance down some small roads. But it's amazing.
I was going to ask, for families that, you know, might be on a budget this holiday weekend, or, you know, if they're looking for a stress-free sort of vacation, what are some good tips that you have for them along this trail?
Well, for a stress-free vacation, you just don't want to take on you don't want to take on too much. You want to sort of plan it out so that you're not packing too many things into a single day, because kids have a short attention span. And,
he understands that.
Yeah. And you got to keep them interested.
You really do.
And don't just drive. You need to stop.
Yeah, and he tells you how to get to all these places and what's along the way. I love this.
It's so great.
All right.
Thank you so much.
You're
and
very
for
welcome.
more information on all of these destinations, visit arizona-newmexico.scenicside-trips.com. And Rick's book is now available on imbrafrex.com as well.
All right, coming up on